This is a HeadGum podcast.
Oh, wait. What are we doing?
How many things are happening now?
Hey guys, welcome to Dynamic Banter. I'm your host Steve Zaragoza with my host Mike Falzone.
Falzone.
And we also have a special guest, a very special guest.
I came to eat your snacks.
Who came to eat my snacks from NBC's Timeless.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Preacher show coming up?
I am on the Preacher show coming up.
Season 2?
I'm on season 2 of the Preacher. I'm a brand new guy on
He's a
season
brand
2
new boy, Malcolm
Preacher.
Barrett.
How do you even have time to be on this podcast?
Because you make time for the things you care about.
Sure. Speaking of
Remember when you
Timeless,
asked us what this podcast
I
was?
remember when I was like, so what is this?
What's it called?
This
is what
is
you asked us.
it's called the Steve Zaragoza and Mike Falzone, I want to say,
That's what
show.
it's called.
yeah,
Yep,
that's
you got
absolutely
it.
it.
You got
Word
it.
for word.
You got it, baby.
Word for word.
This is Dynamic Banter.
Woo, it is very dynamic.
Mike Falzone and I, here's my live stream is going too. Everyone's got a live stream going.
Oh, look at
And
that.
ooh, that's a good shot.
That's a good angle.
Everything is
Shit.
being broadcasted right now.
Right
That's
now-
what we're doing.
How's this camera doing over here?
We're doing that thing where we just talk about the cameras on
Can
the
we
podcast.
turn both
the
cameras
stupidest-
to each other?
No.
Keep the snacks over here.
All right, I'm going to keep the
Yeah,
snacks.
keep the snacks over here.
So what is this show about?
So basically, you know what? I couldn't tell you. It's basically just Mike and I kind of talking about whatever, and then we have guests on, and we also talk about whatever with our guests.
We usually just catch up, and then
We catch
at
up.
some point it becomes ridiculous and unsalvageable. And then we upload it.
All right, that makes sense.
And then people have bought T-shirts.
Can I just say really quick that I'm very excited to announce that we have a new horn in the Horn family. We ever since the first horn broke, our audience is now sending us horns, Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
And
That makes sense.
I haven't set up the P.O. box yet. I promise I'm going to set it up. But
Remember when you asked what the show was about?
Yeah, is it about horns?
It's mostly about horns.
yeah,
Is it mostly a horn-related show? All right.
horn based.
This is a horn-based. Well, this is what my fans want to see.
But anyway, we had our live show, the podcast. It feels like the first time live show this past weekend, and Malcolm was a part of that.
I was.
Yeah,
I played, what?
Go ahead.
I played, so we did Lost,
yeah.
right? And we did the episode with the really weird episode with
Yeah.
Paolo and, I want to say, Jessica?
Nikki.
And,
It was close.
Could you explain this episode to me? Because
Yeah,
I've never seen this.
I can explain it. I can explain everything, officer. Oh, go ahead.
Okay,
Malcolm.
so it's basically what feels like a one-off episode, in which two characters who you barely know and have never been on the show before are introduced, and the entire episode is about them and their backstory. And apparently, her backstory is she used to be an actress on, I want to say, a Charlie's Angel-esque show.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then Billy.
So
D.
she has the proper training for the
She has the proper training to be on this island.
Yeah.
And then Billy D. Williams makes a cameo.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then they're really just sort of they're hustlers, her and Paolo, who accident over there.
Oops, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he knocked over this Instagram live. Anything can happen on live.
Anything
Instagramming.
can happen on live.
Okay. hold
Yeah,
on.
and so it's this weird episode that one of the guys said it feels like a Tales from the Crypt almost, because it's just sort of standalone.
And has
they
nothing
die
going on.
in sort of a reversed Romeo and Juliet sort of a
Interesting.
ending.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for people who haven't seen
So
this
what do you think?
11-year-old show.
So the writers just get bored.
They got
and then
bored.
they're like,
They
let's
gave up.
write a quick
Was this
show that
before or
could be a
after
different
the
show.
writers' strike.
It was before the writer's strike.
Yeah. So then, and then it's so I played Sawyer.
Yeah.
I played Sawyer and Ian Somersault.
Summerhalder.
Somersault.
Somersault.
Either
Yeah, whatever his
summertime,
character's
summertime,
Somo.
summertime.
Summertime. And then I can't believe people are watching this. And then I also played who was it? Oh, Billy D. Williams.
You played Billy D, and
That
you
was
nailed
Billy
it,
D.
man. You fucking
so
nailed
smooth.
it.
He's so fucking smooth.
Dude, you could do. You know they're doing a lot of Star Wars animated stuff. You should do Billy D. His voice. You should do Lando's voice.
What is he doing right now?
Billy D?
Yeah,
He's just sitting back with a Colt 45.
Chilling, man. He's
nice.
chilling. He's
Still?
got that. He's got those. Those Colt 45 residual checks. He's got those fucking Star Wars residual checks.
so he doesn't
sure.
have to do anything.
No, he's good, baby. I did see him at the Force Awakens premiere, and he was walking with a cane. It made me kind of sad.
He's a little bit older. He was almost in a movie I did.
Oh yeah,
called Peoples, and we wound up using Melvin Van Peoples actually instead of Billy D.
Peoples.
Because Billy's a little bit older, and Melvin was able to get some more of their steps because we wound up doing. There's a scene in it where I do where we have like a frat, like everyone's in this frat, like David Allen Greer is, and Melvin
hell
Van Peoples.
yeah!
And so we all have to do this dance, and so Melvin does it, then David Allen Greer does it, then I fake it. And,
is it a good movie? You like it?
I love it. It's where me and Craig Robinson are in it, Kerry Washington,
Oh shit!
Kelly
What
Hawk,
a cast!
a bunch of people.
Where can I see it?
Diane Carroll. Netflix or something?
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know. Hulu?
Sure.
What's it called?
Blockbuster?
What's it called? What's it called?
Peoples.
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 Peoples with Peebles.
With Peoples.
Are we saying pee holes?
Melvin Van Peoples.
Pete
Sorry, I
Holmes?
was thinking Mario Van Peebles. Or
Yeah,
Mario Peebles.
Melvin Van Peoples is Mario Van Peoples' dad.
Oh.
He's like the inventor of independent film, essentially.
Yeah, fuck
Sweet,
yeah.
Sweetback's badass.
Wait, so you
stuff.
worked with Dag, dude?
I did work with Dag.
How was that?
Working with Dag is great. I have to
Go ahead,
tell the truth.
Mike. What was it like? Do you think for Malcolm to work with Dag?
I think he had if you're asking me, I'm basically.
I'll tell you. You know what? I'll take it from here, Mike.
Thanks so much. Back to you, Malcolm.
I got it from here.
That's such a natural transition.
No, working with Dag was great. We did People's, and he was. I feel like he was trying to break me up during every scene.
That's awesome.
That we would do. And so,
oh fuck.
We've chilled and hang out. Working with him was great because he went to Yale or Harvard. He got all this theater stuff and training and Tony Award nominated, if not a winner, and all this sort of stuff. And every text from him, whenever I talk to him, I'd be like, "Hey, Dag, how's it going?" He'd be like, "Nigga."
So he's still got it.
Yeah. It doesn't matter what time it is, day, what holiday it is.
Doesn't it?
He doesn't care.
Some people just have their go-to first response.
He's good. He's got some bits.
How's that? Is that on you over
He's
there?
got some bits. It's definitely on me over here.
There we go. Good. That's what we want. I'm glad he's got bits. Well, that's really cool. Well, I want to get into a lot about you, Malcolm, because
please.
Mike and I have talked
Ad nauseam.
too much.
We don't have anything else to say to each other.
That's fair.
The
It's
thing
like
is,
a good marriage.
That's the thing. Yeah. I'm nervous because we're definitely gonna run out of things to say, and then this podcast is over.
I honestly think we ran out of stuff to say 5, 7, 6 episodes
I'm not
ago.
there yet.
Well, I want to say it's great to be on this show.
Yeah. I think we're really hitting our stride.
We've run out of shit to say.
Yeah. Oh, by far. By far.
But I do want to announce that at the show that Malcolm was present for,
the horn thing we're
we
going
got a
back.
horn. Yeah, we got a new horn. A fan, a listener in the audience brought us a horn, Mike.
Yeah.
And I squeezed it on stage, and I said audibly that it's worse than the new horn we have.
Dude, we both were gifted several horns.
The thing is like, man, so far there is no horn that has been as good as this horn.
I'm telling you, I got a good one. I just forgot
You think it's a
at the
good?
house.
Is it a goose guffaw?
I don't know what either of those words are separately or together, but I know it makes a good horn sound.
It's when a goose is spooked and it makes a deep boy.
What?
It makes
Is that
a
what
deep
it is?
boy.
Here's a goose's guffaw.
That's the saddest one. That's the saddest one.
That looks like the goose he's just doing that out of politeness. He's like, I get it.
Yeah.
The chick in the street, he was crossing it. All right, I get it.
Thank
This
you
is
for
a
the breadcrumb.
It's a broken horn, but once she was in her prime, ooh baby, she sang.
Do you call all of your horns, are they all female, or did that one speak to you?
All things I love are female.
Oh, I thought you loved me.
Well,
I wish you were female.
Okay, all right.
I don't see gender. This horn here,
That's got to be interesting for your sex life.
I've gotten into a lot of
You've
mix-ups.
at least got to be able
Good
to
at
narrow
guessing.
it down to find out
There was some early
what to put
mix-up.
in it.
Definitely some
Or
high
take out of it.
school and college age mix-ups.
Okay.
We'll say that party mix-ups.
So was I imagine you fucking is like when Scooby and the gang discover the monster at the end. They're like, "Old man Wilson."
Oh, every
like
night.
it's you with a vagina.
I would have gotten away with it too if you weren't Steve. If you saw gender, this horn is our. So this is our current horn, Malcolm. I'm just introducing you to this.
Good.
And
so let me give you a little taste.
Go ahead.
Oh, that
Mike,
one's
I
good.
feel like I hit you in the face with sound
Yeah,
That one's solid.
because it's pointed right at your face.
I
and
felt it. I did feel it. Yes.
That
Malcolm
one's
got
abrupt.
scared.
That one's rape whistly.
It's it's a tritone. I don't know if you can tell. There's 3 pipes.
Yeah.
No, I could tell it was a tritone.
That was the first thought.
Well, when you walked in, the first thing you saw when you walked in was this tritone.
Yeah, I was like, you got
tritone
any
horn.
tritone horn for the horn-based
Wait a
podcast
minute,
we're doing tonight? I hope you're doing a horn-based podcast because I have ideas.
I hope for a quad-based horn someday, but one can dream.
Yeah, you gotta make it big.
So anyway, that's our terrible horn that we have now, and here's a new horn.
A new
And
terrible horn?
If you're the person that sent us this new terrible horn, please tell us your name, give us your username so we can shame you on the podcast.
Good.
But thank you for the gift. I do appreciate it. But here it is. Here's the
Mostly
new horn.
that.
Ready for this? Here's
Yeah.
the new horn.
Let's go. Oh, at the end it sounded
See,
a
none
little
of them,
weak.
none of them had the upswing.
Oh,
See, it gives up halfway through.
it's got emphysema. That one.
It does have empathy.
It does.
Maybe if we pour some Dimetap
This
inside of it.
one
song.
started smoking when it was 12.
It shouldn't have. Do you know the
Oh, there you
lifespan
go.
of a goose?
What is the lifespan of a goose?
Flock if I know. That came out of nowhere. I didn't know.
I can't believe
I
that
rounded the
just
bases
happened.
on that.
Do you know?
I'm sorry, Mike. Could you just hold on just 1 second?
Are we even allowed to make a joke that good?
Hold on a second here, Mike.
That's the best joke I've ever made.
According to Google, a Canada goose can last from 10 to 24 years.
Can last.
In a
cold.
in an oven?
Sickness.
That's 10 to 24 years in the wild.
What about if you're choking it? If you're choking it out?
A goose?
I'm over here
how
on
long do they last when you choke them out?
on
You only
backyard
choke chickens.
on backyardchickens.com on the forum
You found my website?
under under geese.
There's a link from your IMDb.
The question was asked: goose lifespan. What is the normal life expectancy of geese? I've seen a bunch of pictures and stuff labeled as like 20-something-year-old geese. But I'm wondering if that's usually old for them or normal for well taken care of birds. I just want to know
What's
if
the
I'm,
over-under on geese?
Especially if they're well taken care of.
I just want to know if I'm telling people the wrong thing or if there actually is a good chance I'll have my goose when I'm 35.
Yo, how often are you talking about this goose?
Yeah, if they're coming to this podcast for goose information,
Which they are. Which they are.
Well, they're
I
not.
really have no idea what the basis of your podcast.
The real
Horns and
point
geese
is
all the way down.
they're not here for goose facts.
That's a good point.
Hillbilly Kurt responded with, I've been curious about this myself. My dad always had geese when I was growing up, but they were always cut short by coyotes.
Oh.
Everything I've
That's a good PSA.
everything I've read has said 20 to 22 years, except for the larger breeds, which their lifespan is shorter.
They got to carry more weight. That makes total sense.
The Goose Girl on February 26th, 2011, at 10:16 a.m., who lives in Denmark, said, according to Guinness, the oldest ever goose was a gander named George, who lived to an age of...
Is there any documentation?
You know what? I'd love to see some proof here. Because you can say anything you want on the internet. Use this little stand.
Is there any kind of
not work?
cross-reference? What about
Yeah,
this?
but I want
That's
to get
a
a little
beaut.
falzone in it.
It's a beaut.
Oh, there we go.
That's just enough of me.
There we go.
I've had about enough of me.
All right, when you guys are done horsing around,
we can get to
the geese. He died in 1976 in Lancashire, England, at age 49.
You hate to hear that.
I love this music.
Close to where I live, there's a guy whose goose turned 38 last year. He says she stopped laying eggs
What?
Years ago, when she turned 25.
Here we go.
She hasn't lost her interest in ganders. So there we go. There you go. There's some goose facts for you guys.
Good. Thank God. I think we're all better for it.
I feel better.
I've learned so much.
Is this something you're going to use in the club, Malcolm? This information?
The Club Ohio? These are what the ladies like. Geese facts.
So, Mike Falzone, you went on a big old tour. Let's
Sure.
talk about it on the next one.
Okay, that's fine.
Malcolm.
Good segue. Solid.
Back to Malcolm's
segue.
credits.
Let's talk about Malcolm, and let's talk about how we met. We all met. Well, so Mike and Malcolm know each other, and I know Malcolm, and we all know each other because we all. Well, I knew Mike already.
This is good segue.
This is all facts so far. But Mike and I knew each other already. But Malcolm, I had not known you. Let's get his
make you more comfortable. Why do you have 17 mic, like the beginning of a mic stand?
I'm just taking. Zaragoza throwing up, and I'm pulling out mic stands like fucking Mary Poppins.
Step in time.
We have 8 halves
Here's
of
the
mic
thing.
stands.
I knew Mike Falzone already, but Malcolm, the three of us came together on a little program called Nerd Court.
That's true.
The three of us?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you were a fucking freaking.
He was Batman. Yeah. Get that mic a little closer to you, would you?
Yeah, he was Batman.
Oh, shit.
I was. That was one of the funniest days that I've had in my life.
I will say for sure that your Batman is my favorite Batman ever. Like,
Thanks,
like
man.
it was Keaton.
Yeah.
Now it's Falzone.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that.
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton has said that.
Michael Keaton came to you and said he likes your
He said,
Batman.
I'm his favorite Batman. And then he said, and then he pointed to himself and he goes, including myself. And he kept pointing at
It was
himself.
like, I'm on the list of the Batman.
No.
Yeah, I was my favorite.
You're at the top of it.
And then I saw you and Malcolm on Nerd Court.
I think you misunderstood. He said to someone else
Yeah.
about you, I'm his favorite Batman.
I understand how it could have gone that way, and I'll leave the door open, but
And
that's not how I'm going to choose to remember it.
Well, don't leave it open too long. The AC's running.
Thank you. Thanks for the reminder.
So we all did a show called Nerd Court, and you were the dang judge.
I was the
Malcolm.
judge. There was a lot of improv.
You were
Yeah.
incredibly funny on that show.
Yeah.
That show was so much fun because we would have different folks and we wrote it and then we would improvise on there a little bit. And what was great is that I'll go up to Adam Stein and the writers and we'd have an episode and I'd be like, I go, so is this enough for an episode? They'd be like, no. And I'd be like, all right, just turn on the juice.
Yeah.
Turn on the judge juice.
Dude, thank God, because they gave me a script, as you do when you're working on a scripted thing, and they were like, it's just loose, it's just the guide. And then I took that to mean I don't have to memorize any of this.
Dude, that's what, every time that's my thing. Like if they're like, script is loose, I'm like, script is gone. Like there's no script anymore.
And I noticed that. It's like, we're talking about Batman.
Dude, but here's a little trivia about Nerd Court. So this was like 2015, right? Don't you think? Wasn't
Sure.
it? Was it 2015, Malcolm, do you think?
Sure.
I don't know if this name rings a bell. Gary Whitta.
Gary Whitta, who now is the writer of Rogue One.
He wrote Rogue
Star
One.
Wars.
And he worked on that show.
And he created Nerd
He created
Court.
Nerd
That's
Court.
awesome.
Yeah.
The show that you were on.
Why did one get so successful?
Why was Nerd Court not as successful as Rogue One?
Why did we only
Yeah.
do that one time, do you think?
But I talked to Gary recently, and he said he was thinking about bringing it, maybe doing a little
Somersault.
Like bringing it,
Well,
paying invisible strippers?
one of these.
we got to figure this out. or else
This is
we're
a
never
lot.
gonna know what he's
Making dough in an anti-gravity
Tickling the
chamber?
bottom of a bird, touching a.
Is he Are you trying to make a Smurf dizzy?
Whipping up.
What are you doing?
But dude, he was like on set wearing like Star Wars shirts and stuff.
Yes.
And I was like, dude, you got to tell me everything you know. And he's like, I can't tell you anything.
Why would he risk that for you?
Yeah, he would never.
Why?
Not for me, not for anybody.
Well,
maybe for somebody, but not for me.
No, not for you.
But it was.
Who do you think for?
We don't have to go on a list. We don't have to make a list.
I'm gonna name people, and you tell me.
I'd rather there not be a list, if we're going to be honest.
I'd rather there not be a record.
I was told there would be a.
Ducky94 says, my name is Sean, and I live in Queensland. I have a Toulouse gander that is nearly 60 years old.
Do you take him into retirement homes at that point?
This, I am not kidding.
He has a loose.
My uncle David Green bred him in the year 1950, roughly.
The year of our Lord.
Roughly.
Roughly.
There's no
He's like, we don't know.
Judging by the rings on the bird, this one's about 49.50.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy.
I'm also here to remind everyone. I'm here to sell my show, Sin City Funhouse, the musical, May 5th, May 6th.
Dude, what is it?
Highway Theaters.
Tell us about it.
I'll tell you everything about it. Bam! This is why I got you guys here.
Where is it? Where is it playing?
So I'm doing a show May 5th and May 6th at Highways Performance Space.
Okay.
I have a band called Sin City. We're probably going to change our name to Verbal and Icarus.
Why is that?
Because Sin City is hard to Google and find us.
Yeah.
It's
Because
hard.
Vegas is like the first 20 results.
Oddly enough, the stuff that existed before us gets a lot more hits.
One of those had Jessica Alba.
One has booze, the other has Jessica Alba. So it's hard to compete with. So Verbal and Icarus is probably what we'll go by. But a director friend of ours, Dina Selenow, basically was like, I love you guys' music. I'd like to change it into a play. I'd like to turn it into a play. So, like, think like Passing Strange or Fela or, Hamilton, a mix of all of that. And basically, or like American Idiot from...
the Green Day one.
Is it all themed stuff?
Basically, we took... Oh, you guys don't know. It's from Rockin' Too Hard. That dropped down. Basically, they took a bunch of songs from my first album, took a bunch of songs from my second album, and then sort of put a narrative through there based on, like... Basically, Bernardo Cubria, who's a co-artistic director from my theater company, Ammo Theater, he wrote the book. And so he basically asked us a questionnaire and about us, and so he took that and took our story and made a piece out of it. And he's a clowning guy. He's like studied clowning, commedia dell'arte. So there's sort of a piece of that stuff in there. So basically it's loose narrative, freestyle, and a concert all happening at once.
That's awesome.
Wow, holy shit, you sold me, man.
Boom!
I'm in.
That's why I'm here.
May 5th, huh?
May 5th,
Is it
May
one
6th.
night?
It's 2 nights only. We're thinking about taking it further than that, but this is the very first incarnation of it. And it's me and Brendan Scott, and we're both actors and writers and musicians, so it just kind of made sense.
So this could be like the start of something where, like, years later, we talk about the night we saw the first...
This is going to be the
showing.
only time we're going to be able to get into the show.
I know.
This is it.
This is going to happen twice, and then Variety writes about
And
it.
then it's over.
I'm going to place bets on the fact that Malcolm would put us on the list.
Oh, man, that's an interesting bet.
I mean,
Dude,
we'll see what
you
we'll see
forget
what
our
happens.
name the second it's in Variety. I don't remember doing
That's
the podcast.
Steve Falzone.
Yeah. I'm
Man,
like, Mike Zaragoza, you're a great guy.
Now, this
You're
doesn't
not on
have
the
to
list,
be
but you're
like,
fine.
we don't have to turn this into one of these things, but I had my first ever, maybe not ever, but I don't know. This might sound a different way than it actually sounds, but have you guys ever gone up to someone who you're not very close with, but you're acquainted with, and you've probably been acquainted with them for like 2 years or so, and they come over to you and they say the wrong name to your face of who they said you are?
They get your name wrong?
They get your name wrong after like 2 years of just, like, you're not close, but you're acquainted.
Yeah.
No one gets my name wrong.
No one ever gets your name
No
wrong.
one ever gets my name wrong.
Because it's like, why? Is it because Malcolm's such a...
I think Malcolm's a strong name.
It's a strong name.
I'm a hard person to
to forget.
You're a unique person, and you have a good first name.
See, that's what
last
I was
name
afraid of
combination.
coming off as when I was saying this.
No one
But-
ever forgets my name. I forget other people's names all the time.
So do I. I forget everybody's fucking
Here's
name.
my favorite story. I have two favorite stories about forgetting people's names because
hear it.
I'm a fucking dick.
Let's hear it.
There's one where there's this guy who would show up. This is going to be good for my friend Debbie June and Michael Feldman, who are both writers on some brand new show. I don't remember what it's called.
And huge fans of this podcast.
They're huge fans of this podcast.
They're listening.
They're listening right now. So she would always throw a party with some guy. I don't remember his name. I want to say Robert. And so, like, the thing is, I would see him at this party all the time, and he would always be like, he'd be like, I'd forget his name. I'm like, blah, blah, blah. So, like, we're 6 parties in, and he knows I'd never remember his name. And he goes, hey. I'm like, hey. He's like, so what's my name? I'm like,
no.
I'm
Dude,
like,
it's the
call out.
fucking
he goes, and he goes,
worst.
and I go, like, Robert? He goes, no. I'm like, why the fuck do you ask me that?
Yeah.
Like, you know I don't fucking know you, man. We're not cool. We're not cool.
I didn't remember a comic once that I had. There was one point with my podcast that I have with my wife where we offered a bunch of comic spots that we didn't really know, but we wanted to like get more exposure for people and like trade podcast spots with people.
It's the it's the old collaboration routine.
It's the old we were trying to collaboration with people.
Yeah.
And then like we never met up and we never met each other in person. Then I ran into her once at the Comedy Store and she was like very offended that I didn't remember who she was, and I felt fucking awful about it. But then there are people that I straight up just have a block, like, and I just won't remember. I'll look at you and I'll be like, I know for a fact I'll never remember.
Well, a lot of white people look the same. So
Tom Bergeron and that guy who just became a judge or some shit like that.
yeah, that one.
You know,
Gorchich. I'm not gonna lie to you. All white people look like Tom Bergeron.
That's a compliment to me. That's a compliment. Well, I'm not even white. It's not even a
salt
compliment.
and pepper.
But my thing is like,
You do look like Machete to me. Is that weird?
you talking about what's his name?
Listen, there are only 4 things people could look
Danny
like.
What's
Trejo.
up, Danny Trejo? There we go, dude. So like, look, I've actually never had the problem where someone forgot my name, like at least to my face. Like no one said to me the wrong name until very recently. And I gotta
apologized.
I gotta tell you guys, I can't get it out of my head.
Why?
It's weird. It's really weird.
I don't mind when people mess up my name now.
But like this was like someone who I see at a lot of events.
Yeah.
Someone who I see at like playlist and like, man, they're gonna narrow it down. We're gonna stop at where we're at.
Just give me a first and a last name. Right.
Okay.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, no.
Let's call him Jay Beretta. But Joe B. Let's call him Joe B.
Joe Beretta.
No, like I've seen this person like a bunch of times, and we talk a lot.
You're mad that Jenna Marbles doesn't know.
I'm mad that Jenna Marbles doesn't know who I am. I'm mad that Spandy Andy doesn't know me by name.
You're mad that Olga K basically has a tertiary knowledge.
I'm mad that Sean Klitzner doesn't remember my last name.
No idea who these people are.
It's all right. Nobody does. But my
They're all
thing is
references.
like, so we were talking again. I saw them very recently. We were talking, and then we hugged, and she said into my ear, "Okay, Scott." I was like, "Aw, shit."
Better Scott than like STEM.
Okay, Scott.
But it's crazy because on the Lost podcast and in Lost, there are these characters named Scott and Steve that like were background characters in season 1.
Oh, yeah, I know about
Remember
that.
Scott
Yes,
and
I do
Steve?
remember that.
So it wasn't until the second viewing, which is happening right now with this other podcast, that Owen and I both realized that there's this running joke with Scott and Steve. Everyone mixes up their names.
Yeah.
And so they're like, Scott. And they're like, no, that's Steve, dude. And like, basically like Scott, or I think Steve dies and Scott is alive. And they're like, no, it was Steve. And so there's this whole thing. So it's weird that like it's Scott that she got my name as.
You think she's just fucking with you?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I
keeping
don't
you
think
up
so.
at night a
I'm
lot.
pretty sure this is not a fuck with me situation. This was like,
I think she just fucked up your
it's
name.
weird, man. It's weird.
It's not that weird. I don't think she's watching old episodes of Lost trying to fuck with you.
No, it's just a coincidence. The Lost thing is a coincidence.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, okay, Scott. It was just too much.
It was a lot.
It was too much for me. I can't stop thinking about it.
Was there any hesitation, or do you go in
No
strong?
hesitation at all. It was hug,
I'm gonna try Scott.
straight to the ear. Okay,
I'm going for Scott. I'm going for Scott.
I don't know this person.
The thing is she was so sure
She's
it's
ready.
Scott.
That's the best.
That
That's
she
the best
just
part.
went for
when
it.
someone calls you the wrong name and they're sure of it. Actually, you know what? So people have messed up. If they mess up my name, they call me Marcus, and I feel like I move on. I
That's
just go like,
racist.
I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I don't know, whatever. Garvey, whatever.
Speaking of, are there any Mexicans named Scott? Scott Sanchez?
There certainly are not any Mexicans named Scott. I know for a fact.
It sounds like Scott Sanchez would be like an Arizona governor.
Scott Sanchez.
Scott Sanchez is definitely an
He's a
Arizona governor.
Republican.
Yeah, he's definitely right.
All right, I'm going to kill my stream over here. Sorry, guys. I hope you had fun watching. If you guys want to watch a little preview of our podcasts every week, you can tune in on Dynamic Banter on Instagram, and we'll stream the first, 20 minutes or so of the episode. But I believe Malcolm is still streaming, though. So if you want a special treat, go to Verbal Be Rappin' on Instagram. If you
Follow
wanna
that.
see-
Give him a follow.
If you guys want to see.
Follow
He's
that.
basically just watch Malcolm's stream now, guys. All right,
Follow
gotta go. Bye.
So I did something that I would like. We've been talking about this for a while.
Okay.
And I had a couple free minutes today, and I want to try something out. What I did, remember when we talked about? You need to keep doing that. For
You just like
We need
you
to
like
make
the-
I don't know
sure.
if people know. There's a fisheye lens or something.
Yeah,
like
there's
that you guys
Mike's
do.
filming this one.
You're all different
So
shapes.
I just
Yeah.
do this. So it looks like when you take bad panoramics.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing? You're changing somebody's life right now.
I am.
Because someone is going to be talking about that in the comments section on this
are.
fucking video.
About how much they hate it.
They're going to be like, why did you put a fisheye lens on it?
It made me sick to watch him do the thing with his arms.
I use the internet in a public library because I'm homeless.
I don't think homeless people
Commenting.
would not like the show.
He's commenting on it.
I
Jerk off in public because there is no private.
It doesn't exist. No such thing as private. I never learned. Parents didn't teach me that.
No one ever
my
taught me
God.
wrong from
Do
private.
you guys remember in school? Were you guys little boys once? Do you guys remember?
Do you remember school? Yeah.
Do you remember
Maybe.
do you remember being a little boy and there was no doors on the bathroom
Yo, I
stalls?
totally remember that. I
Do
was
you
like, what is
remember,
that?
dude?
I didn't know if that was poverty
Dude.
or practice.
No, I
I don't
hated
know.
that.
I grew up in kind of a ghetto town,
I
so
didn't know
maybe it was
either.
poverty.
I
No,
tell
we
you
had
this.
high schools
I
sometimes.
took one shit.
Tell us
all
about
of
the shit.
About all of elementary school. I took one. Is this a harrowing? It was a cold day. September. The leaves were blowing in the wind. It was a Brooklyn morn. The birds sang their songs. Timberlands hit the pavement. A young boy from Brooklyn attempted to take a deuce. He went inside. He sat down. Fear crept over his body and his mind. What would escape? As he finally nestled into his resting place, preparing to do what a man must do. A fellow colleague from school entered the bathroom, a male, and said, with a most tenacious voice, "You ain't taking no shit!" Young Malcolm was horrified. He screamed to the assailant, "Yeah, I am!" The boy moved on. Malcolm, left alone, patted his bottom using the toilet paper, washed his hands, and went on to learn.
I think learning was the best way for that story to end.
So you really did, and everyone could tell you were taking a shit.
Not everyone,
Just your
the one
buddy.
dude well, he wasn't my friend. He was just a guy from school.
You were almost shamed.
I was
I
trying to
was
prepare
not
some
shitting.
sounds for you guys, but it just didn't really work out.
I think you did a great job.
Hang on. There's
There's a
more
piece
little-
of fake poop here, which I think is oddly apropos.
There's one more little.
It used to
sound.
be
Hang
real,
on.
but we had it stuffed.
Here's one more. All right.
That was an excellent.
Dude, I don't
podcast was worth it just for that.
Just for that moment, right? I remember those fucking doorless stalls. It's real gross. You too, Mike?
Yeah.
You had those in your high school?
High school?
Bullshit.
No, because we used to travel around for sports, so some of the high schools would not have them.
Oh, that's...
And then
Dude,
elementary
that's just
school.
fucking nuts.
Elementary school is like they don't trust you with doors.
I think
like,
that's
these
what
kids
it is.
can't figure out locks.
Well, obviously, I mean,
These kids aren't getting back out of a lock.
Are they worried about rape?
Yeah. See, I don't think rape was even in the picture.
No, right?
I don't think it was, but I will say that they were probably nervous about what, if maybe they were stuck in there or they didn't, couldn't put their zipper back up.
Stuck in there.
Kids get stuck.
I used to have to go to the nurse when I had zipper problems. You gonna trust me with a locked door? I could drown.
Talking about when your heart surgery scar?
Yeah. Yeah. I used to have a problem with my zipped up heart surgery scar.
Guys, are you watching Malcolm's stream right now? Well, it doesn't matter if I'm talking to the fucking
matter.
podcast people.
Podcast. Do you not know how this
damn
works?
it.
It's like when grandparents are like calling like the cell phone, like, Malcolm, Malcolm, pick up. It's my cell phone.
JTN 42248 responded to Sean saying, Ducky94 saying the average lifespan for geese of all breeds
Oh, good.
seems to be in the area of about 24 to 25 years.
I knew it.
That would mean that some don't live that long and that some live longer.
That's exactly
That's how
what that
lifespans
means.
work. Yeah.
As indicated
We call that a
above-
median age.
As indicated above, the Guinness record so far is about 49 to 50 years. So if you can document your goose to be 60-odd years old, you may have a new record. Geese will typically live longer in the wild than they do in captivity, so by default, domestic geese have shorter lives than their wild counterparts. Congratulations on your exceptionally long-lived goose. We would all love to see a picture and know about his health.
We all would appreciate daily updates from the old goose. I know we would. And I'm sure I wouldn't be the only one to get a little, how do you do each day from an old goose? Something to look forward to. Not unlike pictures of the grandkids stopping by a T-ball game, see how the old goose fares this day.
My grandmother used to spin yarns about the days when she would just walk along with her friends home from school and just get a good, big, long look at an old goose.
Before television, back in the 40s and 30s, families would gather and look at old geese all afternoon.
I remember back in my day, gooses were the thing. They were the absolute bee's knees. And one of the reasons they were the bee's knees is because it rhymed with geese.
They were the bees geese.
I'm out of bit. I'll be honest. I was gone for like the last 3 minutes. I missed the loop.
We didn't always have rock and roll, but we did always have old geese. We could steal a look at them from time to time, and that would suffice.
I'm loving this podcast. I have no idea what it's about.
Yeah,
but I am. I'm having
know.
a blast.
We also don't
Do
know.
people listen to this?
Tons of people.
My mom loves it.
How many seasons is this?
I guess. I mean,
We're real close to episode 50, actually.
50?
Yeah, we are.
You guys are almost in syndication.
Yeah.
almost.
It's
And
You said it so seriously. You
Almost.
said
Yeah.
almost.
because I was thinking about how great it would be if we were getting paid like that, and that's not always the case.
Is it not always, or is it not at all?
Oh, it's not ever the case. I forgot that it wasn't ever the case.
Mike, what were you saying to us earlier before we ruined everything?
Do you remember when we told each other that we were going to write fake ad spots
Yeah.
for each other?
Yes.
I wrote one today.
Oh no.
And
Mike.
what it is, it's a preview for a show coming out this fall.
Okay.
It's a Hulu original.
Oh,
Do you want me to pull up a music track?
I
for
would
you?
be honored. So it's a detective show.
A detective show.
So I would
okay.
be honored if you would pull up maybe some Criminal Minds or some Law and Order type music.
Yeah, please.
Okay, hang on. Let me see what I can pull up here. Okay, we're gonna just do a little. We're gonna go around.
And there's a line in the show from one of the. It would be like spliced into the commercial from one of the actors.
Okay.
Would you like to read the line from the actor?
I want to read that with all of my heart. Okay. I'm ready for this bit, guys. We're doing fake ads.
We're doing one fake ad.
We're doing true ads for fake TV.
I'm paying so much money to get this fake ad on our own situation.
Can you use this mic?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I sent it to you in a text message.
Okay.
Did you get that?
Oh, this is not going to work. This is like, welcome back to the 14th annual
No, this is no
Goose Awards.
Some of our favorite gooses from last year are back.
That's right, Mother's here.
Oh, Ed Duckington's right back.
That's right, and Grandfather's delicate pant leg is here.
Ooh, and look who's bringing the caviar. It's Johnny Johnsington and his favorite goose.
And get a gander at these ganders. Coming up here, the goose is cooked.
Oh,
Pose it over here.
Oh, look, this one deserves a golden egg. I don't know if you know this, but the average lifespan of a goose is 24 to 26 years. But it can live to be older than that.
Now that's an old goose. And speaking of, we've got an old goose here coming right up the. Ooh, looks like they're wheeling her in.
Oh, they'd better. Look who's getting goose now. It's Mrs. Pennington, her 15th year here at Goose Stadium.
Well, I heard she's a real bitch.
Oh, yes, I heard that same thing. That's probably why her husband left her. Now, one of our new contestants is young Julianne Andrews. Big fan of Mary Poppins. Shouldn't be. She's way too young for it. She's here, her very freshman year, hoping to win the blue ribbon for best masturbation in the lower class white individuals. So she's doing her best to win the Trailer Trash Award for best newcomer. Here's to you, little Julianne Andrews. May you have your goose cooked.
Well, thank you for that, Malcolm. But we'll be back right after this break. But first, let's watch a commercial where 3 4-year-old boys smoke cigarettes.
It's the weirdest commercial ever.
It's a commercial for milk.
Did you say it's a commercial for milk? For what?
For milk. They're just smoking.
They haven't had a good idea since the Got Milk song.
Let me see. Hold on. I'll try to find a proper
They're
track.
trying
Oh,
every
my God. The reviews reflected in that ad are not directly reflective of the people behind this or any network station or affiliate.
Oh
see
my
what I can
goodness.
This is strictly parody.
Welcome back to Children Coughing.
Our hit show on
Children coughing.
WCANTR TV.
All right, hold on. So we're saying Criminal Minds. What else kind of thing are you?
Any kind of detective, Columbo situation.
Okay.
Now I'm worried that the read isn't long enough to support the search for the music.
Okay, how's this? They're talking
MS
about
Paint?
NSYNC?
They're talking about blow-ins and MS Paint. I have no idea. I just leave this on and see what people talk about.
I wish I was in that conversation. The MS
I have
Paint
no idea what
conversation.
they're talking about. Like, the MS
How about this, Mike? Is this
Coral
good?
Draw. Yeah, that's great.
Yes, this is perfect.
Okay,
I like
great.
Did
this.
you get my? Do you have your phone on you?
we all
your
have a-
phone is being occupied. Don't
Do we
worry.
all have a
I'll
line
share with you.
here?
I can read with you.
You have one.
Okay.
So you're this man.
Got it.
All right.
Got it.
We'll cue you.
Who am I?
You're like the narrator.
Okay, so I'm the lead detective.
You're the
Okay.
This is like your
Is this supposed to say Leo?
yeah.
All right, got it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I didn't know if it was a typo.
That's the button.
Got
Okay,
it. Done.
so
Sorry, I don't
so
remember
okay,
the
so
joke.
just so we're clear, this is me here.
Yeah, this,
Sorry.
you're gonna read this like your
That's my Rick and Morty
commercial
All right,
voiceover.
all right, here we go. I'm gonna bring this back. Okay, ready? Here we go. Action. Thomas isn't the typical detective. Most of the force plays by the rules. Keep a cool head and can measure up the height of an average person. And Thomas Jefflington is a little different. He's impulsive, ill-tempered, and about 4.5 inches tall. John Dongle is Thomas Jefflington, and Leal Detective. coming to Hulu this fall. It's an action-packed thrill ride from start to finish. Some of the biggest mysteries can only be solved by the littlest heroes.
This is a little job for me.
Episode 1. Someone in the office has been stealing paper clips, and the chief is a little upset. Coming soon.
Good fake ad.
Dude, that's a great fake ad.
Good fake ad. It costs a fortune to get on the show. I didn't know why you wouldn't just let me do it.
Dude, I'm sorry.
I'm sponsoring that ad.
It's really good.
Is that how that works?
It's really good, man.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, I think that is how that works.
So there's a lot of little twists and turns this season, and I really can't wait to see how it all plays out.
Oh, it's gonna play out really good.
Guys, I found another thread in backyardchickens.com. This thread is about
Gosling?
It's about gosling. It says that here's what the thread says.
It's about gooselings.
It's
Ryan Gooselings.
Curran is a new egg on the Backyard Chickens forum.
And we want to welcome him.
Oh my God.
Want to give him a big warm welcome.
Curran's comment, thread topic is
God.
Gosling neck broken or strained.
Oh my gosh. What is this about?
This isn't a problem you go to the internet for. This is a we got to solve this right now type of a problem.
We'll have a yearling brown Chinese mother that hatched 2 beautiful babies last week.
Congratulations.
Can I have that horn so I can give him a 2-horn salute? That's for 2 born geese. When I went out to check on them, the oldest baby was laid out on the ground, and then I witnessed the mother go and stand on him.
I don't like this podcast anymore.
I don't know if something else.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know if something else happened to him or if the mother did it by accident or ill intent. But right now he is alert and breathing okay. He beeps and twitches his head and curls it up tight against his chest to the right side, which makes me think it might be a strain.
I don't know if it was his mother who did it on accident or Lenny, the new guy I got to help me out around the house.
Curran was a new egg at the time, but is now a BYC Gold Feather membership member. And you can upgrade your free membership to a Golden Feather membership on backyardchickens.com by going to backyardchickens.com.
Does that imply it's illegal? Or like, is it like...
No, it's just like, it's like having chickens in your backyard.
It's like
It's like domesticating the chickens.
It's like a Carfax for chickens.
Yeah.
The BYC.com. He says, I'm really new to geese and I haven't encountered anything like this before. He does not seem to have any movement in his legs. He moves his wings and neck occasionally.
What is this about?
I missed way too much of this conversation.
When he's in pain, but that's about it. He also relaxes
Jesus Christ.
when I support his head and neck and massage it. I'd really like to give this little guy a chance, but at the same time, I don't want him to suffer.
This is a horrible...
What is this? The weird thing is, at the same time, there were people watching on my Instagram Live,
and they're like, what the fuck is happening?
I can't tell if they're excited or creeped out or a little bit of both.
I think I can help.
I think I'm running the world's weirdest chat room right
Yeah.
now. I'm pretty sure.
Tenric has a response.
If you like goose, sci-fi, and melodic music, then go to Malcolm Barrett Snapchat.
Well, I think they know what they're getting into.
This is a response to Curran. They said they're gonna start off by saying, "Gonna go ahead and do the not a vet disclaimer."
Gonna go ahead and let you know.
First things first.
Also, I want to take a moment to say, rest in peace, Pear. You'll always be in my heart. Fly over that rainbow ridge.
What is this about?
Jesus Christ.
Who? Gonna go ahead and say, not a vet.
And he didn't know if his baby goose's neck was broken or strained.
What did it? No, you don't write about that.
You certainly don't write
make
about
a phone
it.
call.
Yeah,
The thing is you don't write about it.
At the very least.
At the
Yeah.
very least, you got to text your
Mike,
buddy.
where's your mic?
Dude, I lost with the flying
your
over the
stand?
I was
rainbow.
like, I couldn't hear you for a second.
It was too. I
Where'd
needed
your
a break.
stand go?
Oh, I needed a break.
Did you not have one?
I did. I'm Freddie
you're
Mercury.
free basing it?
Yeah, I'm Freemasoning it.
The Freemasons.
Oh my goodness.
Guys, I got one more here
that
from.
made me so incredibly sad.
I got one more from Jim Diane.
Oh my gosh.
This is my favorite. What's that song?
This is my favorite. What's that?
Oh,
song?
is that your John Cougar Mellencamp?
John Cougar Mellon. Jim Diane. It's my favorite John Cougar Mellon.
Well, here I'm gonna let you guys choose. I'm gonna give you 3 topics
Oh God.
from byc.com.
I hope none of them are neck
Bring
related.
your coos.
Bring your couscous. Bring your own couscous.
.com.
BYOCC. No, this is backyardchickens.com. I'm gonna
Why
give
does
you.
that sound so dirty to me?
Here's what I'm gonna do.
It's an independent wrestling federation for chickens.
It's like a fight club for poultry.
yeah.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give you guys 4 thread topics from backyardchickens.com, and then you guys are gonna choose which one I dive into. You ready?
What's the year on some of these? Are these current?
Dude, today at 6:13 p.m.
Oh, these are current.
Today at 6:13 p.m., someone posted, "Batman is lonely. Please help."
Okay.
One of their
Is he
kids-
calling
Is that a
himself
goose?
Batman?
The goose.
The
That's a
goose?
goose.
Oh, the goose's
That's a
name
goose
is
named
Batman.
Batman.
Okay, so here's the three.
The kid who owns him is named Bruce.
I'm gonna give you guys 3 posts, and then you guys tell me. In fact, let me dig deep here.
May 5th and May 6th.
Give me one from
Funhouse.
2004.
You want something
Go-
from 2004?
I would need you to go back. I need you to delve.
Yeah, and then I want to immediately email them.
Hey,
We
listen.
saw the- Hey, I heard about your problem from 13 years ago about your goose's broken
I gotta be
necks.
honest, guys.
Don't move them.
This is the
Whatever
thing.
you do, don't
Whatever you
move.
Don't
your
touch
goose.
him.
This is from years
Don't
ago.
fucking move them, man.
Here's the thing, guys. I'm just
Email
on.
me back. Let me know.
I'm just in the goose area of the site, and it runs deep. We're getting deep on geese here.
I think that's pretty much what we expected.
Yeah.
How about 2012? You guys
going
fine with
halvesies.
that, or you guys want 2006?
That's fine. I want a problem that's already been solved so we can compare and contrast our solution to the correct answer.
All right, I'm gonna stop in 2011 here.
Okay. It's like you don't even care about the history of these geese.
Do your geese history.
All right, you know what? Fine, we're going to
Do your
2000.
due
What did you say again?
diligence.
2004 or
Do your
2006?
due
I said 2004 because it was the funniest year I could think of.
All right, here we go.
That's the funniest year.
It's a warm day in here. We're in 2009 now.
Okay. 2009, a particularly great year for geese. I'm fine with just stop somewhere.
Where were you in 2009? Oh my goodness, guys! This forum started in 2007.
Oh, okay.
So there's nothing from 2004.
Great. I can't wait to see who laid the groundwork for.
The goose section of the forum here. Okay, here's
These are pioneers.
So I'm gonna give you guys 3 topics, and you guys tell me which one we're doing in here.
Go.
Goose with swollen foot pad.
Okay. I knew that was coming. What's the next one?
Give us, please try to change it up a little bit.
Go. Next one.
Don't
that's
give us
too,
common
that's almost,
goose problems.
That's almost too goose and easy. Next problem. What is it? Go.
Hackneyed goose problems.
How about this one? How about this one? You guys like this?
What is it?
The story of a goose coming of age.
Oh, who doesn't? I mean,
I think it's the tale as old as time.
yeah, it's 500 Days of Summer of.
With goose.
What with gooses?
Or my goose died.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Now,
Wait. Does he mention the method?
How about this? How about this one, guys? Give a goose an itch.
I'm sold.
I'm sold. I'm sold.
You guys
Give a
want
goose
give
an
a goose an
Give
itch?
a goose an itch.
I'm sorry, inch.
I'm less interested.
Sorry, that was my fault. It's an inch. How about goose receives chemotherapy?
I'm too sad.
No.
1,000% too sad.
Sad. It's like goose gets goose cancer.
Yeah.
How about harvesting down from a live goose?
Oh, wait.
You mean pulling out the goose's
You
feathers?
mean plucking the feathers from a goose?
Well, guys, we'll go on this journey together.
How
if
to
you want.
grab hair from an Italian. There's no difference.
How to shake hands with an Armenian man. Tonight,
Oh my god.
Oh man.
we're going to teach you how. You guys want to read about harvesting down from a live goose?
I mean, do we have a choice at this point?
You've got 3 choices.
What were the 3?
Oh, fuck.
Going back to the beginning of the conversation.
Goose with swollen foot pad.
I'm almost back to being interested about it.
About the feet pads.
Roll up goose pad.
Now, are me and Malcolm
Ghost with
trying to solve this
Ghost
problem?
with swollen goose pad. Ghost with swollen iPad.
Yeah.
How about sexing geese?
Sexing geese?
Sexing geese.
Sexting geese.
Or
From a blackberry
sexting
curve.
an old goose. Or the one that we did, the one I said after that.
I like
Harvesting down from a live goose.
Wait, did you say sexting an old goose?
Sexing a goose. Sexing a goose, the goose with the swollen pad, or
I think swollen pads
or
is,
harvesting down from a live goose.
if we're being honest with ourselves, I think we all truly want to get to the bottom of a swollen pad.
Yeah.
Malcolm, are we trying to figure out the case of the goose with the swollen foot pad?
I think so. Swollen foot pad is.
Please.
I feel like the answer is ice.
All right, Sari is
Let's not jump to conclusions.
Sari joined in 2008 and is from Akron, Ohio, and is out of the brooder.
What is?
I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
She says, "I don't know what to do. My Roman tufted goose has been limping for a few weeks, and we finally trapped him and took a look at his foot.
You were chasing a limping goose?
It's swollen, but there are no signs of infection or cuts or anything. Just swollen, and it feels kind of hard. Can you guys not hold hands while we do this?
Sorry.
We could. Were we not doing it earlier?
Well, I didn't see it.
You mean like hold the other
If
hand?
you guys are going to hold hands under the table, then I'm going to have to insist you hold my hand, too.
Let us pray.
Especially while I talk about a goose. It's swollen, but there are no signs of infection or cuts or anything. Just swollen, and it feels kind of hard.
All right.
He's not tame, so it was very traumatic for him. I dread the thought of putting him through the stress of taking him to the vet, not to mention leaving his mate. Should I put him on an antibiotic? If so, what and how much?
Try foot softeners.
Any advice is appreciated, Sari.
So there's a number of things it could be.
What do you think it is?
Well, here's the thing. It could be diet. A lot of times geese tend to have an overreaction to household products or things of that nature.
Human
particularly.
food.
A lot of
Bleach,
times.
detergent.
Yeah. A lot of times they'll eat like I don't want to say toys or sort of different foods. That
Well, I had
people-
a brown Stettler that ate dog food.
Yeah,
And
they're not supposed to do
they're
that.
not supposed to. It died.
Psychologically.
Well,
so
the
that's
food's
probably,
for dogs.
Yeah,
anyways.
It's because it's for canines. And I think another thing that could be happening with the goose is honestly an allergic reaction. Do you know what I mean? If it's a wild
Yeah,
goose
sure.
and it touches asphalt
Could be a rash.
or rubber or yoga mats. A lot of times they're allergic to yoga mats.
Well, it's because their feet don't.
well, and a lot of times yoga mats are made of geese.
Sometimes there's latex in
There's a
yoga
lot of
mats.
that. There's a
And
lot
latex
of that.
is very sensitive to a goose with a
It could be
swollen
any of
foot.
those things. I tell them to email me immediately or DM me or go into one of my chat rooms, and we'll sort of discuss what they should.
Now, what would you say if I told you that this particular conversation took place in 2007?
I would say then this is the right time to address it.
It's the perfect time. Then I'd say this is just about when you should.
We can't waste another minute.
Guys, here's the
gotta-
follow up from
gotta-
Big Brahmas.
You gotta wait a good 7 years to check on a goose's foot.
You won't know. You won't know. Sometimes it won't change for
You know-
5 years.
You know that old fable, it takes a goose's foot 7 years to soften up.
Well, if you want the truth about a goose's foot, you got to wait a good 7 year. Listen to this response though.
What we call a goose year. That's what we call a goose year.
1997 was a goose year.
83. A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people.
I didn't know 83.
Did you not
was a
know that?
goose
Did you
year.
not know that?
I didn't know.
I expected more from you, but that's
Wow,
interesting.
I know a lot about 83, Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, no, but that fails in comparison to the
Oh
goose
my
year.
goodness,
It was
a goose year.
a soft goose year.
Yes. I remember that.
So, Big Brahmas responded at 5:21 p.m. on 8808 and said, "It may be Bumblefoot. Is there a black plug on the bottom of his foot? Can you take pics?" And there's no response.
Well, of
So we'll
course,
never know.
In 2008, there were no pigs. It could be Bumblefoot, though. I mean, the guy brings up a good point, Steve.
It could be Bumblefoot. I don't know, actually.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you. Owen, can we get some levels over there?
Oh, are we doing, is it almost time?
I
Where is
just
Owen?
want to make sure my mic's plugged in. Okay, there we go. All
There
right.
he is.
Okay. Well, guys, it's really close to time for History Road.
What an episode we had today. What a time. What an experience we had with each other. I learned so much.
I don't know what you learned, but
I learned more about Geese in the past 20 min than I ever wanted to. I think that was worth noting.
I don't know what's wrong with my computer right now.
What's happening?
Here we go.
Can you describe what's happening?
I would love to.
I don't know what's going on.
We're having a moment. We're taking a moment here.
Okay. We'll take a moment.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't actually mean to do that. Okay, so Malcolm, we do a little thing on the show here called History Road, and it's basically fans send in their
Internet
stories.
histories. Mm-hmm. We kind of go down, do a double check.
They send us stories, and I'm trying to find a good one here. Here we go.
Oh, sorry.
And Malcolm,
Malcolm kind of did a history road.
it's kind of a short one. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, but it's kind of like what he did, really.
Oh, it is kind of like what he did.
I have no idea what you guys are
Well,
talking about.
should it be a short? Are you okay?
It's not going to get more clear. Basically, at the end of every episode, we have a submission, a fan submission for a story that we read in some kind of a voice. We make a story out of it. Owen, is that his? I can't remember. He plays the piano.
He plays the old tickles. He tickles the ivories.
He touches the.
And while we read a History Road, so Malcolm, I was hoping maybe you could do us the honors of reading this History Road.
Okay, sure.
Okay, before I do that, how about the History Road theme song?
It's pretty good.
History. History.
All right. Okay. We're going to hear it one more, or Malcolm wanted to hear it again.
Yeah. I love this song.
This History Road comes from Eris Williams, and he says, from Jason... What? From Jason?
How many people wrote this particular?
Have you done this bit before?
Said this episode was inspired by the Detective Jonathan Dongle History Road. It's part one of a trilogy based on the misadventures of the newborn, the small gentleman, and how he becomes a large man not named Tom Hanks. So here's the story for you.
Interesting. Good luck with
And
that.
Owen is gonna play us the keys there.
He's going to provide the score.
Go ahead, Malcolm. In your time.
Do I start with this Hey Boys thing, or do I go...
Yeah, go for
Yeah,
it.
right from Hey Boys.
I'm a character?
You could be a character if you want.
I don't know. What's the proper mindset for?
I mean, it's like the story you told, sort of, about you taking a crap in the thing without the door.
I have no idea what this is, but I'm just going to start reading
go
it.
right in
Let's
there,
go.
baby.
just a story.
No clue. Whatever. All right. It's like I tell my students.
Okay.
Hey, boys. It's Jason, a.k.a. the newborn with a shoehorn from Philly. I listen to about 24 various podcasts a week, and this is my favorite by a landslide. When describing the podcast to my friends, I say it's pretty much too funny and dumb boys being funny and dumb. I love you guys. Also, Mike, if you are ever going to be within an hour's drive from Philly, please let us know about a potential stand-up gig. Please judge my history road out of a maximum grade of 10 hunks after reading. Planning on making a trilogy out of this series. Part 2 will tell the story of me becoming a small gentleman, as written in bold, and Part 3 will feature me as a large man like Tom Hanks. P.S. I'm going to email this to you boys every day till you deem it worthy to be on the show. History Road, the two-horn newborn, born boy. My eyes open wide. As I awaken from a 9-month rest, the first thing I notice is my mom's big old breast. After some time, I move into a room so fast, carried by Dr. John Dungle, the man that slapped my ass. He said it was my first breath, but to me it made no sense. I told him to kiss my John Dungle at my already sore left cheek's expense. The nursery was quite spacious, but the atmosphere quite foul. That's because rising in the sky a ghostly, or should I say ghostly, shroud was as an ominous dooky cloud. It spoke to me. It pleaded with me. This you must do. Find the man with the bidet from Twitter, for it will cleanse your poo. In my head, I saw a vision of bearded man sitting on a sofa. Once I saw the VR headset, I was deadest. This man was Steve Zaragoza. I robbed a bank for funds to gain access to a plane. The strangest part was what I saw when I looked right through the pane. Throughout the entire night was a bike in flight. It made me oh so stressed. I peered in closer, quite impressed. It was an E.T. donning a dress. I was sent by the shit cloud, so in your mission you will not fail. To find the way to History Road, we must follow a specific trail. It is made up of deliciously filled bread that made some call a calzone. They were left behind by a hairy man. His name is Mike Falzone. We followed the path down History Road to an apartment that was shady. Outside was a woman yelling at nothing but a crazy-ass old lady. I walked inside, full of pride, and demanded to use the bathroom. Now I'm the only two-horn newborn boy without poop in between his ass room. Did I do it right?
That's it?
That's interesting ending. I thought we were building to a hard crescendo.
Me too. Listen,
Real
man,
good.
is this your first draft? Because I think you need to add a big finish.
Well, he said it's going to be a trilogy.
Well, that's true. That's true. Okay.
And
Great
and
job.
he rounded it with newborn shoehorn.
he did.
Right?
That's
That was
true.
right,
That's
secular.
That's a
He
good
did
point.
bookend
Brought
it.
it back, bookend.
It's been bookended.
Oh man, this was like Kill Bill.
Now I feel like we're never going to do better than that.
Damn it, Malcolm, you set the bar too high.
I feel that way a lot.
Yeah. Welcome to the last episode of this. Hope you enjoyed it.
Malcolm, what are your thoughts on the ET over there? What are your thoughts on that ET over there?
So if you guys don't already know, there's a couple of ETs. Well,
There's several
and,
ETs.
and this is why I'm going to tell you it's several. Because the first is ET from the movie E.T. the Extraterrestrial, where
Yeah.
I assume it's a male, I don't know.
I think it's a male,
is
but I want to
dressed
assume
like
genders.
a female. And then what it also has, speaking of playing with gender roles, is one of the gremlins from, I want to say Gremlins 2, the new batch.
Yeah.
who's dressed like a lady of the night, I want to say.
Yeah. Sure.
A bit too much makeup.
Yeah,
I think so, too.
It's really caked on.
But beguiling, nonetheless.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
Do you have any opinion on is it terrifying to you at all? Do you like them?
It is not unexpected for what I thought would be where you live.
Are you alarmed that you can't see any of the countertop?
I'll take it.
Because it's a large countertop.
It is a very large countertop, and I can't see what it's made out of. At all.
Well, that's not what you should be looking at when you look at that countertop.
No, I
I'm
look
just
at
gonna
your
say that.
ETs.
You should look at the
I said
ETs.
it's multiple ETs because I almost consider a gremlin an extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
Oh, sure, sure.
Do you
I would
know
say
what
they
I
fall
mean?
into the
Because
same
We don't know, actually.
You don't know.
We don't know where Gizmo came from. It was just in that little shop. We don't know.
it's not from Chinatown. I don't think Gizmo's from.
No, I don't think so.
And I wasn't sure that it was an earthbound organism.
That was never explained?
It was never
It was
explained.
never
No,
explained
no.
in any one of the multiple Gremlins movies.
Maybe
You
in
would think
Gremlins
they would-
3 they'll talk about it.
No, because once you get past not talking about it, then it's almost better than never ever
I agree.
talk about it.
I agree with that.
Once you go, this movie was great, even though I have no idea where this thing is from,
Yeah.
then you don't want to talk about
I
it.
remember there was a time when you had to use your imagination. You remember those days? All right. Well, guys, listen. That's the end of the podcast. What? Dude, Malcolm, you're a fucking great guest.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
pretty good at this.
The thing is that like
Professional
you're.
podcast, yes.
I'm not just saying this because
Yeah, I'm a PPG. I don't know if you know about that. All right? It's not points per game, all right? It's professional
professional
podcast.
podcast guest. Listen, dude, you've got the Midas touch when it comes to doing entertainment.
Entertainment.
And you have the Midas touch with words, my podcast hosting friend.
Malcolm, thank you for joining us. Dude, tell us about your show again? May 5th?
May 5th, you can go to Highways Performance, I think .org, but it's probably something longer than that. Or you can go to the SinCityLP.com, or you can go to my Twitter, Verbal the Rapper, or at Malcolm Barrett, or Verbal Be Rapping on Instagram. It's May 5th and May 6th, called Funhouse the Musical, 8:30 p.m. It's awesome.
Nice. And at what theater is that?
Highways Performance Space in Santa Monica.
Oh, didn't you? What were you saying about ammo?
Ammo is the name of my theater company. It's a non-profit theater company.
Oh, okay.
And we got a play coming up pretty soon called The Tragedy, and then we're also doing a woman's play for the past and future, where we have a bunch of female-themed plays by all-female directors and
Oh, hell
writers
yeah.
Nice.
and all of that. So that's coming up pretty soon. We're just getting a space, and then we have another play, The Tragedy, written by Darrell Watson, directed by Ahmed Best. You
Oh,
guys
hell yeah,
might
Jar
know from
Jar.
Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's a buddy of ours. He's a director, and
Is he a cool guy?
He's an awesome guy.
Does he? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I met him because we both were at the Ovation Awards for theater, and I was getting one for acting, and he was getting one for stunt work, because he also does stunt shit in theater.
Yeah.
And so we actually just voted him into our theater company, which I think he should be getting a letter like today.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
So he's directing The Tragedy, and it's going to be awesome.
He's like the first. He was like before Andy Serkis.
He was
like,
precursor to Andy Serkis. He
Yeah.
actually has a whole thing about it where he tells the tale about being the sort of precursor to Andy Serkis.
Yeah.
Because of like the stigma with the role, how he's sort of forgotten for like sort of doing the innovation on that sort of process.
Does he? How does he feel? Have you talked to him about Jar Jar at all? Do you talk to him
Not
about
particularly.
it? Yeah. I wonder how he feels these days about Jar Jar.
He feels very positively about it. I mean, he does the cartoons. He knows there's like all this like, controversy about it, but people are very respectful, and he also has a larger career than just that.
Sure,
Do
he's
you know what
not
I mean?
just Jar Jar.
Yeah, so a lot of what we talk about is like theater and fighting and martial arts, because he's like a huge martial artist.
Dude, and we didn't get to talk about Timeless at all, and I haven't even talked to you about Timeless. Really.
I haven't, no.
But dude, you like rocked it, man.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're waiting to see if we have another season. They would have talked to, while Body Pioneers podcast happens, I think they pitched to NBC today, because they basically pitched the second season. I mean, it looks positive. Like all
People
the
love
ratings
it.
are very huge. The following's amazing.
Yeah.
People are watching the show, like they're watching the episodes in order. Like now that the show's off air,
they put it in chronological order.
Yeah, they watch in chronological order and tweet about it, which is like the first time I've ever had anything like that happen to me.
That's really really interesting.
So we're waiting to see what happens with there. And in the meantime, and
fortunately, possibly to be simultaneously, as I'm going to be doing Preacher at the same time.
Dude, that's so cool.
Yeah.
You're going to be all over the place.
I'm trying to just
You're
be
blowing up, dude.
as many versions of a Pops toy as I can be.
Yeah.
Really,
How many? What's the count? What's the
right
count?
Right now, I've at least got like a fan-based Pop toy for Timeless.
Nice.
That's so cool, man.
And I know they make them for Preacher, so like, and my characters,
shit.
my characters. Well, I can't say too much, but my characters gonna have some notoriety.
Is your character based on the comics? Is your character in the comics?
I think I can say, it's based on comic book interpretations.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so awesome. I think it's seeing you on all that shit, just like blown up and your head blown up. It started at like Comic-Con. And then me and Steve started texting you when it was all over the place. When you were like on every bus.
Yeah, I think we were posting videos of like, there's our friend
we were like,
Malcolm.
too much.
Fucking giant
this is
head.
too much.
Yeah. Well, what was great is like I think I came in a day early, and luckily Skidmore had was able to, because I think somebody had left from Skybound or whatever, or some entertainer could, I don't know. So they had a room for me the night before when I came in. I was like, awesome. So I was that whole day I was just there and able to watch, and I had a speaker in my book bag, and I was just blasting music and walking around town looking at all the fucking Comic-Con shit. It was
dude,
awesome.
and we did the thing on the stage. You came to the Comic-Con HQ thing.
Exactly.
That was so fun.
Yeah, that was the cool thing about it, because me and you had already knew each other, and then I got there, and then he's hosting all this Comic-Con stuff.
Yeah. I'm just a big nerd. I hope you go again this year, dude, and I hope the show gets picked up for another season.
Yeah, so do I.
I will say that Owen has a huge crush on Abigail Spencer.
Who's Owen?
He's the pair of shoes on the couch over there.
The guy that tries to talk during the podcast, but he's got a huge crush. Huge crush on her, so I want you to embarrass him.
I'm going to talk to her immediately about that.
Okay, great. Perfect.
Not a big enough crush to have tried watching the show or anything.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Let's get her on Total Fun.
That's probably the best way to win her over.
Is to not watch anything she does.
Man, I've heard of all your work.
Well, Owen talks about her little stint on Arrested Development. That was
No, Burning Love.
Oh, Burning Love.
I think she was on that.
Burning Love, yeah. That's a great show.
The joke about us is that none of us have seen each other's work. So you're don't give a damn.
They haven't seen Nerd Court, you
They've
think?
never seen Nerd Court. The one thing they've all seen is Nerd Court. That's for sure.
That's how you got the job.
Yeah, that's
it was
how I got
off
it.
of Nerd Court.
They're like, is that the motherfucker from Nerd Court?
Is that the judge?
That's the judge
from
like
Nerd
Sean
Court?
Ryan and Eric Kripke were like, you heard of Nerd Court, right? Yeah, and
Hey, listen.
Hold
we
on a
feel
second.
Weird.
You guys got someone from Nerd Court on our fucking show?
For the first season of this show?
You guys said you wanted names, but I didn't know you were going there.
I didn't know you were talking Nerd Court.
Is there anything left for anyone else?
Like, yes.
I don't like it.
The show's a go. The show's a go. NBC, they're calling NBC. Hello? Yeah, it's NBC. What's up? We've got Malcolm from Nerd Court. The show's greenlit.
Could it be a movie? Could it be 3 movies?
Can it be a trilogy?
I heard when they were making the Avengers, when they were bringing Avengers to the big screen, they were like, they're trying to get they were like, can we get someone from Nerd Court? Can we get someone from Nerd
Joss
Court?
Whedon was like, I want to turn this into a Marvel trilogy immediately. Nerd Court.
Dude, that's if you want your movie made. The
Well,
first thing you do.
Vince Gilligan talks about how when he was making
About Nerd Court?
when he was making Breaking Bad, he was like his main inspirations growing up. Nerd Court helped inspire Breaking Bad.
I remember that because Bryan Cranston talked about it on a DVD.
He did. No, dude, he talked about it at the
Which
Emmys.
is weird because they stopped making DVDs, but they brought them back because of Bryan Cranston had this idea to talk about
I
Nerd Court
remember.
on
He
the
said-
commentary.
Bryan Cranston said, I got something to
They
say.
were like, we don't really do that. We don't really do that anymore. He was like, I am the one who Nerd Courts. It was a whole thing.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys at Nerd Court Con next year. I think it's gonna be good.
Nerd Court Con.
Dude, again, thank you so much for all the cosplays of me dressing up like Batman, dressing up like he needed to go to
And you
court.
know what? All I'm going to say about the people cosplaying as my courtroom reporter, I think you need to gain a little weight, all of you.
Yeah.
It's not faithful enough.
And guys, and listen, white kids going as the judge from Nerd Court, just be white. You don't have to. You don't have to put a little thing on your face.
What were your thought about?
This is
What are your
weird.
thoughts on the blackface? That
I'm not a
people are
fan, but I understand where they're going with
But some of them are so young.
it. Way too
doing?
young for blackface.
They don't know any better.
You got to at least be an adolescent. Like,
Who's
you can't,
putting the makeup on
who's
these kids?
sponsoring these kids?
You know what my favorite NerdCon photo is? Is the guy in the Obama mask who's trying to
Who's going as the judge?
Yeah.
I remember that. It was Tessa Netting.
It
I
was
don't
Tessa.
remember who know that.
It was totally Tessa.
It was Tessa
Dude,
Netting.
we got to do an episode where we bring Tessa on too.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it's the four of us.
That would
doing
be
it.
great.
That'll be a goddamn mess.
That'd be great.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Malcolm, for joining us. And Mike, welcome back from your tour. We'll talk all about us next time. It's garbage that we had such a fun time with you, Malcolm. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you want to plug your Twitter one more time?
Yes, it's at Malcolm Barrett, and on Instagram it's verbal BE rapping with no G.
Awesome. All right, Malcolm. Well, congrats. Mike and I are going to be at your show for sure, May 5th. Either May 5th or May 6th. Is there a better
Please.
show to go to? We'll
I
go to
have
both of them?
no freaking idea.
What?
Me too.
Yeah,
Owen will be
Owen's
there too.
Owen's
Owen will
there.
do his
Owen
best.
Abigail will not be there.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I could do May.
You don't know
6th.
that.
Oh shit.
You don't know
I'll be
who's
there
going to
May
do that.
6th.
Claudia could be there. Who knows?
I want to see Malcolm's musical.
Thank.
I want to do Balooba now. All right, guys. Thanks a lot for listening, and we'll catch you on the flips. We'll do it on the.
What the fuck is that?
We will get. We're gonna get you guys next.
Have you never exited a show
Hit you on the next.
episode?
All right, guys. Thanks for
Mike, I think I got this one.
Okay.
Guys, thank you so much for.
How long have you guys been doing this
Malcolm,
show?
go ahead and wrap us up.
Malcolm, you want to
Jeez.
get us?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you guys so much.
For
and
taking
next,
for the
And
time.
I want to say thank you for.
we'll go. It's
You're the best.
Fridays and 7 a.m.
Only at
or
our
after
piece.
that is
Thanks for watching.
This isn't my first.
Legal Detective.
That was a HeadGum podcast.